Hello, Savilla Morgan here. Thank you so much for taking the time to listen to today's show. Before we get started, I would like to thank my sponsors and my supporters. A great big thank you to Morgan Air Conditioning, sales, service, and installation, proudly serving Tampa, Florida, and the surrounding areas. For assistance with your air conditioning needs, call Morgan Air at 813-500-7765. That's 813-500-7765. Thank you so much, Morgan Air, for seeing the vision and being a part of it. It is appreciated. Next, I would like to thank Alba Digital Media, audio production, web hosting, and web design. Alba Digital Media created my website and they produce my podcast. Visit Alba Digital Media at www.albadigitalmedia.com for assistance with media and production needs. That's www.albadigitalmedia.com. Thank you so much for Alba Digital Media for making me look good and sound good. I would also like to thank the owner of Edinburgh Dusters for assisting me with quality graphic assistance for my website and other social media content. It is greatly appreciated. Finally, I would like to thank the musical duo Devoted for creating my theme music. Contact Devoted at devotedministries@gmail.com for your music needs. That's devotedministries@gmail.com. Thank you so much, Devoted, for the beautiful music. I absolutely love it, and I'm sure the listeners do as well. Thank you for all your great work. If you would like information on becoming a one-time or ongoing sponsor, feel free to contact me at sevilla@sevillamorgan.com. That's sevilla@sevillamorgan.com. And for more information on my sponsors and supporters, go to my website, www.childlessnotbychoice.net. That's www.childlessnotbychoice.net. Scroll down to the very bottom and you will see the links to my sponsors and supporters. Thanks again for listening, and now on to the show. Well, hello everyone. Savilla Morgan here. Welcome back to another episode of 21st Century Hannah, where my mission is to recognize and speak to the broken hearts of childless, not by choice women and men around the world. I am spreading the good news that we can live a joyful, relevant, and fulfilled life, regardless of the fact that we could not have children. Thank you so much for allowing me to sit with you once again. Well, as I have mentioned in recent episodes, my 1-year podcasting anniversary was this past July 2016. But my platform, 21st Century Hannah, is 2 years old this month, the week before USA Thanksgiving to be exact. I know not everybody around the world celebrates Thanksgiving, so I'm making that distinction. Thanksgiving in the USA is the last Thursday of November every year. So during the last 2 years, I've learned firsthand how to build something from scratch without a clue as to how and what I was doing most of the time. I learned by trial and error, never fearing letting go of something that did not work. It wasn't anything personal, but I was and am on a mission. It's a passion for me. I want this platform to be successful. I want it to succeed in whatever way, shape, or form that is. As a matter of fact, earlier today I was on social media in one of my groups and we were talking about the things that we do every day for our platforms, for our missions, and what our best practices are, basically. And one of the things I said, sometimes I just surprise myself, but one of the things I said was that your passion is your compass. And so the point I was trying to make in the group was a lot of times we can get off track. Maybe we are taken off track, whether we want to or not, because we all know success is circuitous. It doesn't go in a straight up line, or up on a 90-degree angle or anything like that. Sometimes we have to make U-turns and go through a roundabout. Some of you know what a roundabout is, to get to where we want to get to. And so we just need to let our passion be our compass. And many times we just kind of have to go with the flow and not fight things so much. So that's what I'm doing with 21st Century Hannah, and letting my passion for the platform, for getting the word out, be my compass. I am passionate about creating the conversation that is needed to free childless, not by choice women and men around the world from an invisible prison. That prison is negative comments from friends, family, and strangers. That prison is negative thoughts, fear, shame, and sadness. These internal and external attacks attempt to block us from living our best, most joyful lives. We cannot allow that. I know there will be those who just will not understand my vision, and that's okay, but that will not stop me. For those who understand, thank you. And it looks like the vision has attracted a beautiful group of women who have come alongside me, mostly virtually. Yes, the power of the internet and social media. I love it. I receive articles, my social media content gets reshared, and I receive words of encouragement constantly from these women. So I want to take a moment to give them a shout out. First, and we haven't met in person yet, although this lady lives in my general area. We haven't had an opportunity to meet yet. But Frida H. of the Slim Goodies Foundation. You're always resharing my content on Facebook. I mean, always. And you are awesome, Frida, for doing that. I truly appreciate the reshares, because I know that when content gets reshared on Facebook or retweeted on Twitter or reshared on Instagram, you're sharing it now to your followers. And you don't have to do that. And most of the times when people do that, including myself, I do it because I really believe the message. But you do this on a constant and consistent basis with everything that I post, and I really, really appreciate it. Thank you so much, Frida. Shout out to you. You understand the platform, even though you are not childless, not by choice. And when someone can help promote a platform to which they are not even a demographic, that means they get it. And that's special. Next, I would like to give a shout out to Mimi. Mimi is also a mom. We attend the same church, and every time I see her, she tells me about the most recent episode she's listened to. Mimi, that is a word of encouragement, and I thank you. It is truly appreciated. I would also like to give a shout out to Emily M., yet another mom. Emily has been sending me words of encouragement for quite some time. In fact, I would like to read an excerpt from a message she sent me a few months ago. I can't believe it's been that long ago, but time flies, don't we know? Here's the message in part from Emily. Quote, I immediately thought of the unique work you have been doing and how that must be a struggle some days, but who else to do it? It's a special calling and must be just for you, which to me is the highest order of blessing one gets. You carry people and inspire and learn and grow every day of the week, and you are always so positive and uplifting. You remain open to difference, tolerant, compassionate, and try to be non-judgmental, all the while knowing that living in grace is the biggest testament to who you are. Emily M. That was from April of 2016, unquote, by the way. All I can say is I can only try to live up to all of that, Emily. All I can see are the flaws, my flaws, and the fact that there's a lot I do not know. In fact, some days I wonder what in the world I am doing. I took such a huge risk 2 years ago, and I know that if I fail, I would have at least tried. And that's what I keep saying. I don't want to be 90 and sitting in my rocking chair and wondering what if. I know that I would have tried to create the safe place where childless, not by choice women and men from around the world could stop by for a time of refreshing. Like when you stop by a well for fresh water or a friend's house for a cup of coffee, probably more realistic for most of us. And I thanked Elaine S. on my last show. She sends me magazine and newspaper articles on childless, not by choice issues around the world. Because many of those articles are stories from outside the US, I get to read and hear about these issues from a different perspective. It is a great reminder to all of us that this is a global issue. Thanks again, Elaine. You are appreciated. Well, 2 years. Time flies, as I said before, when you're having fun, right? This creating awareness to and for the childless not by choice community on a global level may sound simple enough. I mean, I just put on some headphones and hit the record button, right? Well, not exactly. Aside from the fact that this platform is built on the premise that the conversation about childlessness not by choice should be had and will be had, the conversation can be different depending on where in the world the listener lives. Some listeners are daily living under threat just because they do not have any children. While some of us deal with it more on an internal issue, feeling shame and hearing a snide remark every once in a while, the fact is, in either case, childlessness not by choice is a heart issue. And it has taken 2 years to build a platform I naively thought would see an instant mass of arrival of women who have needed the space. But alas, everything has happened as it should. I have had time to learn about myself, which means my heart will be more receptive to every type of listener and supporter, not just the childless not by choice person. I always say that God has a sense of humor. He sent mothers as well as childless women to come alongside me. I am humbled and honored. Awareness truly being created and globally, as some of the women mentioned, live in other countries. Some of these women I mentioned above, they live in other countries. So thanks again, ladies. It is truly appreciated what you're doing and everything that you do for the platform. Thank you for spreading the word. There are other people that I didn't mention who they tell their friends about it too. That's the whole thing. That's what creating awareness is I tell you, you tell someone else, and someone else tells someone else until the entire planet knows that this childless not by choice issue has to be faced. It has to be talked about. It's no good to treat women and in some cases men, but I'm talking to women because they're, well, maybe because I'm a woman, but we tend to be more at risk for certain things, for danger and all of that. And so it's no good anymore to talk to a woman as though she's useless or second class just because she doesn't have any children, or think that you can just tell a woman whatever you want to without any pushback because you just feel like you can. We all generally have to realize that we cannot talk to people the way that we do sometimes, and we have to check ourselves. But anyway, I'm going off on a tangent. What I really want to say is, if you want to write in or call in like these ladies did, don't be shy. Remember, I went through pretty much what you are going through now or what you've been through. Mentally, physically, emotionally. I've had to deal with the issues of the childlessness, the fact that I wanted children so badly. I've said it before. One of the 2 things I wanted most in life ever, I mean, without question, without a doubt, one of them was to have children. And so imagine my chagrin. Imagine my chagrin when I realized it would not happen. I mean, I wasn't just saying, maybe if I have kids, I'll have them. It's what people do, so maybe I'll have one or two. No, I wanted children badly. And when it's at that level and then you realize you're not going to have any, it can take a mental an emotional toll unless you deal with it head on. So I know that a lot of you are listening, and I know that it may take some more time before I hear from you, and that's fine. I just want you to listen. When you're comfortable, like these ladies are with reaching out to me, I am looking forward to it, and I know that one day it will happen for more of you. So, does the platform have a long way to go? Yes, I think so, but things can change in a minute, on a dime, as we say here in the US. You never know. But I would imagine we have a long way to go. But I also know it's my life's work. No matter what twists and turns my life may take, no matter how many reroutes and U-turns I may have to take, this is my life's mission. It's my life's work. I won't even call it work. It's my life's mission to get the word out, to create awareness, to start the conversation. And when will I know it's successful? Well, when childless not by choice is discussed openly instead of whispered about, when a woman will not be judged if she opts not to go to a baby shower, when a woman in a third world country will not live in fear and at risk because she has no children, when a professional woman running for office is not told she is not a good fit because she is not a mother, and when we will not be judged by strangers who do not even know our story, and when we can talk about and discuss the issues of childless not by choice openly instead of in gossipy secrecy. That's a new term I just made up, gossipy secrecy, because we know it happens. Anyway, that is when we, all of us, will know the platform is successful and not a moment before. So how exactly can you participate, you ask? Why, I am glad you asked that question. Leave me a review on iTunes. Search for 21st Century Hannah on iTunes. There are a couple of titles out there that start with 21st, the number 21, but search for 21st Century Hannah on iTunes. And while you are there and you're leaving me a review, subscribe to the show. And that way it automatically drops into your inbox every second and fourth Monday of the month. So I won't overdo. I won't be pushing things into your inbox every couple of days or twice a day or whatever. It drops into your inbox twice a month. You may also subscribe to the free monthly newsletter. And again, with the newsletter, I don't bombard people with things all the time because I don't like being bombarded. And I get bombarded with all types of newsletters. From some people, it's almost daily. It's like, really? So I don't do that. I send out one monthly newsletter. If there's something special going on, I will drop that into your inbox, but that's seldom more than once or twice a month. I don't like the bombardment that we get with newsletters these days. It's just too much. So I will not do that to you. And so if you go to www.civillamorgan.com or www.childlessnotbychoice.net, you will see the subscription form. It's just your name and email address. You subscribe on either of those. It's the same newsletter, whichever site you go to. You'll get the same newsletter in your inbox. And by the way, when you visit the www.childlessnotbychoice.net site, there is a printable PDF list of daily affirmations available to anyone for you to print. I am so excited about that new addition to the site because I love freebies. But I like nice freebies. I don't want it to appear to be free or look like I didn't put anything into it. I mean, who doesn't like freebies? And so everything I do on this platform and in my life really is created with excellence. I do the best I can with what I have, with the amount of knowledge I have, with the amount of resources I have. I will do the best I can. So I took a lot of time putting this free resource together to make this list available to anyone to print. But of course, it's geared towards the woman who is childless, not by choice. And I really am a strong believer in affirmations. And I know that they're typically personalized. But I wanted it, this list of affirmations to be helpful to anyone who read it. So I had to really think about what it was I was typing. However, if you would like your own personalized list, direct message me on Facebook or Twitter. We will schedule a 15-minute conversation, and I will create your personalized affirmations list based on our conversation. There is a $25 fee for that. It has to be prepaid through PayPal, but I can create that list for you, and guess what? It would be just in time for the new year. You'll have something to read for all of 2017 to keep you on track with creating that joy and that relevance that some of you may be seeking or just not know how to get to. And that's what affirmations are all about, repeating positive words to yourself on a daily basis. Other ways to stay in contact with me and with the platform include joining my Facebook groups and pages. Two of the groups are for childless, not by choice women only, but the other groups and pages are open to anyone interested in the platform. If you have trouble finding the groups when you go to Facebook, there is a link directly from the homepage of the www.childlessnotbychoice.net site. And that'll take you to the closed group. There's a private group, and if you want to join the private group, as many of us know, the private group means that it won't be seen on Facebook, so people can't see who's in there. So I do have a few people in the private group, and I have a few people in the closed group. So the link on the www.childlessnotbychoice.net site takes you to the closed group. You go there and you join the group. The private group, direct message me on Facebook or Twitter, and I will have you added manually to that group. You see, my podcast producer, web builder, and I are always thinking of ways to make things easily navigable for you. So you can navigate through each site. As a matter of fact, you can go from one site to the other without having to leave either site. And I know some of you ask, what's the real difference? I've had the SevillaMorgan.com site for quite some time, and I'm not giving up my domain name. So I'm keeping it on that site, the www.sevillamorgan.com. I have my blogs over there. I know many of you probably didn't know that I blog, and I've been on hiatus. I spent the summer on hiatus from blogging, but I'm getting back into it. And I blog about finance because that is one of my passions. It's also, I spent a good decade or so in the world of finance. So I blog on finance, marketing, which is what my degree is in college, and life. We all have a degree in that, life, and religion. I have a degree in, I think most of us have a degree in that too, whether we want to or not. So finance, life, marketing, and religion. That's what I blog on. All of my blogs can be found at www.sevillamorgan.com. Go over there and check out the website. And on the www.childlessnotbychoice.net site, you can hear all of my podcast episodes going back to the very beginning. You'll see why I chose the name 21st Century Hannah for my platform. And on both sites, you'll see a little bit about me. There's an About Me page. So there's slight differences. There are slight differences between the two sites. But the childlessnotbychoice.net site is all about that, being childless, not by choice. So, finally, last but not least, finally, however you want to put it, but it's definitely not least, we have added a donate button on both websites, www.sevillamorgan.com and www.childlessnotbychoice.net. Your donations will go toward maintenance of the podcast, including paying for production, buying equipment such as microphones and adapters, and upgrades to our automated system. Many of you who are podcasters will know that there are systems you can use to have your podcast automatically downloaded to your website. I don't want to get too technical, but there are always upgrades to that, so you have to pay for those upgrades. And definitely toward a worthy cause is what your money would go towards. I continue to enhance the quality and reach of the platform to make the websites look nice and want you to want to stay there when you go there. And so all of that takes money. And so if you can help in any way, feel free to hit that donate button. I'm also working on courses. I want to have some free courses, and there will also be some fee courses. So courses that you will have to pay for, and whether they're free or fee, they take money to create, and so your donations would go towards that as well. And so as I said before, I love freebies. I'm always going to make sure that there are freebies available. But once you get into those fee courses, we're going to get deep, and that's the only way to come out the other end feeling, refreshed and filled with joy, and know that you are relevant, that you are somebody, that God created you, and that even if you did not have the children that you wanted, you are not a second class citizen. You are a contribution to society. If you are alive and listening to this, God made you. He wanted you here now for such a time as this. And you just have to find out what it is you're supposed to be doing and not dwell on the fact that you did not have the children. You can't stay there. We can't stay there. We don't want to get stuck. We never want to get stuck in life at a place where we got hurt. We want to keep going and keep moving on and move past it and grow. That grows us when we can move past it. And if we don't know how to move past, then that's one of the reasons we stay stuck. We don't want to move past it, or we don't know how to move past it. And that's what this platform is all about. That's what my courses are going to be all about. And as in past episodes, that's why I always suggest going to speak to someone objective. If you need to see a counselor, a licensed counselor, a therapist, a psychiatrist, whatever you need to do to get past where you are, because that's the only way you're going to live your most relevant and joyful life, is being able to get past it. Will the pain go away completely? Will you just feel like a brand new person? You could feel like a brand new person. It's possible. I don't know if the pain would ever go away, but you can now manage it and deal with it, and you have power over it instead of allowing it to have power over you and dictating to you how you live your life. So I'm really, as you can tell, really passionate about this. And so any donations are appreciated, whether it's $1, $5, $10, whatever you want to do, it will be appreciated and it will be put to good use. And I will say thank you in advance. Finally, all my contact information is below. If you want to leave me a 90-second or less voicemail, when I say below, I mean in the show notes. I should clarify that. You're looking at me thinking, what? Below what? In the show notes. And I have show notes directly below the player for every episode of my podcast episodes. So all my contact information is in the show notes below the player. And if you ever want to leave me a voicemail, on the www.childlessnotbychoice.net site, if you look over to the right, there's like an oblong player. If you click on it, it'll allow you to leave a message of up to 90 seconds for me. And so you can do that. Or as I said before, you can go to iTunes and subscribe and leave me a review. If you want, you can direct message me on Facebook or Twitter if you have questions. I generally try to respond within 24 hours. And so this episode, I just wanted to really say thank you. As a matter of fact, the name of the episode is Shout Outs and Thank Yous, and happy anniversary to 2-year anniversary to 21st Century Hannah. And I'm hoping for many more years to come. And I thank you all the ladies I mentioned earlier, and those of you who are listening who haven't reached out to me yet, and all of the new listeners, thank you so much for your support. Even listening helps me. It shows me in the numbers. I don't know who you are, but it tells me where I have listeners from, what part of the world, what countries, and I am always honored and humbled to see the amount of people listening in. And don't forget to tell your friends. Tell your friends, even your friends who have children, because creating awareness means that you don't only talk to the people who you're creating the awareness for, but for everybody else who may not know that this heart issue exists, they don't quite understand it. And this is getting the word out to them that, hey, we're here, we're hiding in plain sight, but let's talk, let's have a conversation. Also, in the show notes is a quick survey. If you wouldn't mind taking that survey for me, that would be awesome. That would help me out as well. And then, as I said, all of my contact information, the websites I've mentioned, my Facebook handle, Twitter, Instagram, Pinterest, LinkedIn, everything is in the show notes below. So check it out. Thanks again for listening. Happy anniversary, 21st Century Hannah. And thanks to all who have supported and will support. You guys are awesome. Thank you so very much. Have a good one. Bye.